Okay, yesterday we have discussed. Yesterday, what we have discussed. Harsha? Okay. What is tax? What is tax? Okay, correct. Okay. Then what are the different types of tax? Okay, what is direct tax? The tax that is levied on, yeah, it is levied on individuals and that is paid directly. Okay. What is the example for direct taxes? Which are the example for direct taxes? What? Income tax. Next, have you studied only the income tax? Okay, then corporate tax, then yes, minimum alternate tax, that is MAT, then dividend distribution tax, then capital gains tax. Okay, then okay, we have discussed till that much. Okay. A direct tax, that is levied directly on individuals or organizations as well. Okay, they will pay directly for the IT. Okay, they will file the IT. Okay, and the indirect tax means that tax will be paid by the customers. Okay, but who will collect that GST? Intermediaries, that is retailers. Retailers will collect the GST. Okay, direct tax, as we have seen the income tax. Okay, we have already discussed the current new regime, the tax slab also. Okay, and the corporate tax. What is corporate tax? Whatever this is the tax that we paid on corporate profits. Okay, and how much corporate tax is there for existing domestic manufacturers? Plus cess and surcharge. For new manufacturing companies, 15% plus cess and surcharge. For foreign companies, 40% plus cess and surcharge. Okay. Next is MAT. Okay. This is levied to prevent a tax avoidance of the corporate tax. At least minimum they should pay. Okay. Next is dividend distribution tax. This was been abolished in 2020. Okay. Till 2020, it was being used as a direct tax. Okay. Now, this dividend comes under which tax? It is calculated under income tax. Okay, whatever the personal income tax is there, if you get the dividend for your shares, then you should pay under the income tax itself. Okay. The next comes the capital gains tax that we were discussing yesterday regarding what is capital gains tax. Okay, whatever the owner is having the asset, if he sells that asset, whatever profit he gets, that is called as capital gains. For that, he should pay tax in the form of two types. One is short term, another one is long term. Short term is till how many months? Within 36 months. Whatever he sells his asset, for that, what is the percentage of the tax? It is equivalent to, it is 15. The short term capital gains tax, 15%. Okay. Then, if it is within 12 months, for the stocks, for the mutual fund, for the zero coupon bond, if it is within 12 months, then what is the interest rate? Within 15. Then what is the asset? What is the interest rate for asset then? Sorry, what is the capital gains for the assets? Physical asset. Okay. Did I dictate you or not? Capital gains tax, short term and long term. It is equivalent to new, I have told you, normal income tax slab. First one, if the asset has been sold within 36 months of owning it, in this case, the tax will be similar to the normal income tax slab. That you should tell. Understood? Whatever the tax slab is there. Okay. This one, yearly wise, it gets changed. Okay. For short term capital gains, that tax is equivalent to this one. If it is selling within 36 months. Okay. If it is stock or if it is mutual fund or if it is zero coupon bond, then it is 15%. Okay. Next comes the long term capital gain. Okay. If the assets are sold after 36 months, then the tax will be 20%. Okay. And for the zero coupon bond, mutual fund, and for the share, it is 10%. Okay. Above 1 lakh of capital gains. Okay. Next comes the security transaction tax and commodity transaction tax. Okay. Both these combined are called as financial transaction tax. Okay. Which are the types of financial transaction tax? One is commodity, another one is securities. Securities means shares, bonds, equity. Okay. Government securities, zero coupon bond. That all called as shares. Mutual fund. That all comes under securities. Commodities means goods which are non-agricultural. Okay. Commodity means goods which are non-agricultural. Okay. Means steel, gold, silver. Okay. That all comes under commodity transaction tax. Okay. Except agriculture goods. Okay. Except agriculture goods, that all the non-agriculture goods comes under commodity transaction. Firstly, write down the STT and CTT. Let me explain. Okay. Firstly, I will explain, then you can write. I will give a time for writing. Okay. First, what is security transaction tax? This is a tax that is levied for transaction of shares, buying and selling of shares. If you buy and sell the shares, there you should just pay around about 0.1% for your profit, whatever you make from the securities. Okay. Think that you have purchased the shares, you got 100 rupees profit. In that, you should pay 0.1% for your 100 rupees profit. Understood? Okay. Next, for commodity transaction tax, whatever for the non-agriculture commodities like steel, aluminium, gold, crude oil, okay, except agriculture goods, all the non-agriculture goods comes under commodity transaction tax. For that, whatever profit you get or whatever the transaction you make, buying and selling, for that you should pay around about 0.01% for your profit, for your transaction also. Understood? Just write down now. 0.01. Okay. The STT, write down after this one, the STT and CTT both are called as financial transaction tax. Okay. STT and CTT. Financial transaction tax, FTT. Financial transaction tax. If they ask which are the financial transaction tax, there are two types. One is CTT and the other one is STT. Yes. This is for non-agriculture goods. Just highlight that. Non-agriculture goods. Very important. Okay. Which is the world's largest which is the largest commodity exchange? Can you just Google that? Which is the largest, which is the largest, which is the world's largest, which is the world's largest commodity exchange? It is the name of the company. World's largest commodity exchange. Which is the company? Which is the world's largest commodity exchange? World's largest commodity exchange. CME Group. Okay, write down that. CME Group is the world's leading commodity exchange. And in case of India, it is MCX, Multi Commodity Exchange. Okay. At the global level, it is CME Group. At the Indian level, India's largest commodity exchange. India's largest commodity exchange is MCX, that is Multi Commodity Exchange. Write down that. Yes. Very important. Okay. MCX. World's largest. It is CME Group. World's largest commodity exchange is CME Group. But in case of India, India's largest is MCX, Multi Commodity Exchange. And this stands third place. Okay. At the global level. At the global level, it stands number 3. Just check, is it number 3 at the global level? because in Ramesh Singh they have given it is the third largest commodity exchange, okay, in the world. Is it sixth? It is world sixth largest. Okay, then update it to the sixth one. It is the sixth largest. Sixth largest commodity exchange in the world. In India's rank, see, in case of India, it is top one, but in case of world, it is top six. Okay? It is sixth one. In this MCX, there will be a commodity trading regarding natural gas, regarding crude oil, regarding gold, silver. Okay, all the non-agriculture products: gold, silver, natural gas, crude oil, steel. Okay. Can visit that website also. MCX India. And just see the products in that list. Okay. There are base metal like aluminum is also traded here. Write down the aluminum also in that list. Aluminum. Copper, lead, nickel, zinc. Have you written gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas? Okay. Electricity also. Electricity, aluminum, nickel, copper, lead, zinc, all those will be traded. Next comes the angel tax. Angel tax. What is that angel tax? Okay. See, if an entrepreneur want to just establish one of the startup company, he needed a funds. Either he need a seed funding, means a small amount at each stage, or else he want a whole amount at one stage itself. Here, when he go and approaches one person, and if that person agrees to invest the money by giving for this entrepreneur, then whatever the money he takes, for that he should pay the taxes. That is called as angel tax. That whatever that funder is there, that person is called as angel. Okay. For that entrepreneur, he is like an angel. Why? Because he is funding him, and he will not charge much high interest rate for this entrepreneur. Okay. The very minimal interest rate he will just charge, and whatever the profits whatever this entrepreneur, that person gets the profit after establishing the company, and in that he might ask the share or else the whatever the principal amount he has given as a loan, with that the minimal interest rate he can charge. That's it. Okay. There are many of the finance people who will just leave a lot of interest rate like 10%, 15, 20%. Okay. This person is not like that. This angel, he is charging very minimal interest rate. Either he might take the shares from that company after establishing the company. He might tell, just I needed few of the shares, or else he might just charge only few interest rate. I mean, just a few percentage of interest rate. That's it. Okay. There is a venture capitalist and also called as angel funder. Okay. Venture capitalist is too much harsh. He will charge high interest rate. Understood? But these angel investors are not harsh. Okay. They will just charge very less interest rate. For this angel funder, whatever he funds for the entrepreneur for starting up the company, in that investment, they should pay the taxes that called as angel tax. Understood? The tax on startup funding above fair market value. Okay, think that one of the entrepreneur have got 100 crores as an angel investor. Okay, from the angel investor. Okay, and for that investment, he should pay the taxes for the government called as angel tax. Understood? Okay. In India, it is very difficult to establish these kinds of companies. Why? Because they should pay the angel tax also. Okay. All these startup companies, they should pay angel tax also. This was been introduced in 2019. Okay, 2019. Just write down. I will dictate. It was introduced in 2019. It was introduced in 2019. Full stop. And it should be paid by, just give me a minute. Okay. What I told? It should be paid by the unlisted companies. Unlisted companies. It should be paid by the unlisted companies on the capital. They raise they raise they raise by selling their shares at the value above their fair market value. Full stop. And finally, in 2020-21, and finally in 2020-21, the government withdrew this angel tax. Because this tax would hamper the expansion of smaller companies. Full stop. This angel tax was been introduced in 2019 and it was been abolished in 2020-21. Because it would hamper what? The small industries or a small companies or startups. Okay. Okay, just write down the wealth tax also. Wealth tax. Just put the heading wealth tax. Wealth tax. See, till 2015, this wealth tax was been there. Okay. In 2015, they have abolished. Why? Because this tax was levied on the profits, the income of the individual, either the companies, either the HUF family, that is Hindu undivided families. Okay. If they are earning more than 30 lakh, round about 1% of the tax they have levied as a wealth tax. Okay, think that your family is earning more than 30 lakhs per year. Okay, 1% you should pay it as a wealth tax till 2015. Okay. That was been abolished in 2015. Okay, just write down that the wealth tax was introduced in 1957. Full stop. 1% tax on earnings exceeding 30 lakh per annum for individuals for HUFs, that is Hindu undivided families and companies was imposed. Full stop. This was been abolished in 2015. Okay. Next comes the gift tax. Two thousand fifteen. Okay, next comes the gift tax. If any of the person, anonymous person or very far relative or something, okay, who for the business purpose or something, if he gives the gift more, if it is exceeds more than 50,000 rupees as in a value, okay, there whatever the person, that person takes that gift, that person should pay the gift tax for that. Okay, if that gift is given by the relative or from the family, that is not called as gift. Okay, if the gift was given by any kind in terms of business or something, then it will be considered under gift tax. Okay, just write down. And what about the gift that the people, I mean the couples will be getting in the wedding? Is it comes under gift tax or not? When there is a marriage, people will be giving the gifts for the couples. Then will it come under the gift tax? I mean, will that comes under a tax? No, that will not come. Why? Because it is given by the parents or the family members or relatives. Okay, that is exemption. Okay, gift tax is exempted for family members, relatives. Understood? Okay, just write down. The gifts whose value exceeds rupees 50,000 are subjected to the gift tax in the hands of the recipient. In the hands of the recipient. Full stop. Gift tax is exempted for parents. Gift tax is exempted for parents, spouse, sibling, relatives, and also the gifts received during weddings and also the property that is inherited and given as a gift we have seen that most of the actress, they will give the luxurious cars, watch, if it is exceeding more than 50,000 rupees. There, those persons should pay the gift tax also. Okay. Huh? Not the relatives. The total, if it exists more than 50,000 rupees, and if it is given by the relative also, that not comes under gift tax. Okay. Exemption for parents, spouse, siblings, and also relatives. Okay. You should prove that person is relative. Okay. That comes under gift tax only, and also along with that, whatever the money that is paid from the reality show, that is also should be. They have to pay the taxes. Okay. Lottery also, whatever the lottery, from the lottery you get the money, from that also you should pay the taxes. Okay, that is also direct tax. Is there any doubt in this gift tax? No doubts. Okay.
For example, he's a businessman. He gave about something close. Then come to the he's a businessman.
No, that will not come under gift tax only. Why? Because that person, that Mukesh Ambani has gifted for his own son. That is exemption for him. If Mukesh Ambani gifts for me, then it comes under gift tax. During wedding, it is okay. Okay, if it is more than 50,000 rupees, he should pay gift tax and then he can give. Okay, if there is a bloodline stream that people are just like whatever the grandmother, grandfather, if they pays during wedding also, or if they gifts in during wedding also, that doesn't come under any gift taxes. Okay. But you should prove when you become the officer, civil servant officer, okay, if any of the person gives you anonymously or in a business or in a profession, you should not receive that gifts unless and until if that person is very good friend of your, and if that person is anonymous or stranger, you should not take any single penny also from that. Otherwise, it will lead to bribe or a corruption. Understood? If any of the random person comes for your office and if he just gives a watch or any kinds of gifts also, you should not receive that. Politely, you should deny. Otherwise, it will lead to the corruption also. Okay. And don't tell me during wedding why we will receive the car and also some of the gifts from the spouse family. Okay. See, that is the wish that the girl who is marrying, her parents can gift. Okay, but it should be willingly, not through forcefully that these people should gift him the car, the bungalow or something. Okay, that will come under the dowry itself. Okay, and during interview they will ask you the frequent question, especially for a man. Okay, will you accept any kind of dowry? Okay, if her parents wishes and her parents wishes that they want to give it is as a gift, then you can accept that. You can tell this kind of answer. Okay, but unless and until your parents or you also can't ask as any kind of dowry as in the form of car or property or something. Okay, one of the person have just took only 1 rupees as a dowry. Okay, that too there was a tradition. One of the civil servant has just took 1 rupees as a varadakshina. Okay, because there is a tradition. Okay, and varadakshina will be also given 1.5 rupees or something. Okay, from men's side also. Okay, there is a kind of tradition. Okay, that is accepted. Okay. Next one. Next comes the indirect taxes. Okay, that is for the goods and for the services, the customer should pay the taxes. Okay, on behalf of the customers, the retailers will pay the taxes. Okay. What is GST? Goods and service tax. See, this goods and service tax was being introduced in India in July 1, 2017. It came into the force. This was being introduced and it was being passed during BJP government. Okay, but the Congress government have condemned this as this is not a goods and service tax. This is a Gabbar Singh tax. Okay, why? Because see, this Congress government itself wanted to bring this GST in 1990s itself. Okay, but due to the not having much of the majority, those bills was been collapsed. Okay, was not passed. Okay, but in BJP government they have brought this GST. Okay, let us see what is that. Okay. And there is a GST council for GST. Okay, this GST council will conduct the meetings and they are the one who will just introduce a new items, new commodities, and to delete or to add the commodities and also the services under this slabs. Okay, under the constitution, this comes under the article 279A, which is the Constitutional Amendment Act and Constitutional Amendment Bill related to the GST? 10101 is Constitutional Amendment Act, CAA. Just write down that. Which is the Constitutional Amendment Bill. One not first Constitutional Amendment Act is related to the GST in our Constitution. Constitutional Amendment Bill 128. Just check in a Google. Which is the Constitutional Amendment Bill related to the GST? What is that number? One 122. Okay. The help of 122nd Constitutional Amendment Bill that was been given assent from the President, and it became Constitutional Amendment Act. Firstly, what they will do? They will pass in Lok Sabha, they will pass in Rajya Sabha, and now this is called as Constitutional Amendment Bill. Whatever the proposal, whatever the GST proposal, initially there will be a minister. That minister will propose either in the houses. After passing this in both the houses, till then it will be called as Constitutional Amendment Bill itself. Once this bill is sent for the President, what the President will be having? What kind of rights? Veto powers. Which are the veto powers? As absolute veto, suspensive veto, and pocket veto. Okay. Either this President can give the assent for the bill, means the signature, he or she can accept that bill. That becomes the act. Okay. That is what? This is Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay. If she keeps withhold, okay, then still it will be called as bill itself. If the President gives the assent, then it will become an act. If the President don't give an assent, till then it will be called as bill itself. It will not come into the force. When it will come into the force? Once the President gives the assent, then this GST will come into the force. Along with that, more than half of the states should ratify this GST. This Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha has already passed this bill and it was sent to the President. After giving assent for this bill, then it became an act? No. Then it was sent for all the 28 states. And more than half of the states should give the assent in the form of simple majority. I mean, the 15 states agreed to bring this GST. 15 states have agreed to accept this GST. Okay, it is not only a parliament have passed this GST bill. Okay, this is the special majority. This GST bill comes under special majority. Okay, that is in Lok Sabha they have passed special majority. In Rajya Sabha they have passed with a special majority. It was sent for the President. President have given an assent. Along with this, more than 50%. More than 50% means how many states are there in India? More than 50% means 14 plus 1. It is 15. Minimum 15 states agreed to implement this GST. Understood? Then once these 15 states agreed for paying the GST, then it became an act and it came into the force on July 1, 2017. Is there any doubt? This comes under which article? 279A under the Constitution. And there are different types of GST slabs. Let us see each one. Concentrate here. The essential items and food grains will be 0%. 0% GST. Okay. Essential items. Okay. Next, the edible oil, rail transport and medicines will come under 5% GST. If you go for the medical shop, there you should pay the GST. Understood? CGST and SGST. There are different types of GSTs. Okay. At the central level, if the center levies the goods and service tax, it is called as CGST. Okay. Different types of GST. Different types of GST. Write down types of GST. One is CGST. Another one is SGST. Next, UTGST. What is UT? Union Territories GST. One is IGST. Okay. If the tax that is levied, okay, if the tax that is levied by the central government, then it is called as CGST. Just concentrate here. You can write in your own words. Okay. If the tax that is levied by the state government, then that is called as SGST. If the tax that is levied for the UTGST, Union Territories, then it is called as UTGST. How many union territories are there in India? 8. Which are those? Which are the 2 islands that comes under Union? Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep. Okay. Then Pondicherry, National Capital Territory of Delhi, Ladakh, and Jammu and Kashmir, Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Both are one itself. They have been merged. Now Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Total it is called as one union territory. There is Chandigarh also. Okay. And what is IGST? Integrated GST. Okay. See here. Okay. Think this is Karnataka. This is Maharashtra. Okay. In Maharashtra, they have produced one of the goods. Okay. One of the goods they have produced. And whatever the manufacturing company that is set up in Maharashtra, they distributed for the other neighboring states. Okay. This other neighboring state called as Karnataka can take this IGST. Whichever the state that produced the goods will not get the tax. For which states they will just send the goods, that state will get the taxes. Understood? Okay. Maltai Dornena anta karitare ಕೆಲವೊಂದು time, because they tell that we have produced the goods and these people, wherever we will just sell that state will just get that IGST. Okay. But in this case, whatever the state that receives the goods, that will get the IGST. Understood? Is there any doubt? These are the different types of GST. Just write down in your own words. See, those who purchase that goods, see, who has manufactured that goods? Maharashtra company. And who has received the goods? Karnataka. Now Karnataka will get the IGST. Means we will pay the tax, but at central level again we will get that tax for our Karnataka itself. Okay. There is a finance commission, around about 41% of the taxes will get allocated for 28 states. Okay, that comes in your polity. Okay. Think there is 100 rupees. Out of 100 rupees, 41 rupees will be allocated for all these states, combining all the states. Rest 59% of the rupees will be just used by the central government itself. Understood? See, only this small amount of the money we will get, especially for southern India. Okay, even though we get the highest GSDP, okay, we will get just 3 to 4% whatever we have paid as a GSDP. Okay, only that much we will take. Okay, because for the development purpose, they will just allocate that funds for developing the northeastern states and also the north states. Here they are not much allocating all these taxes for the southern states. Okay. Highest GSDP we are getting from Bangalore itself. Okay, that too from Shivaji Nagar. There will be lot of confliction between the MLAs of Bangalore. Okay, that the lesser amount has allocated for this area, more amount was been allocated for that area. Especially in Bangalore also there is a lot of confliction between one area to the other area for development purpose. And next comes these are the 5 tax slabs. Okay, 0, 5, 12, 18, 28. Highest tax slab is 28. See, whatever the essential goods the humans require, it will be 0. Next comes the edible oil, the rail transport, whatever the rail tickets you take, that is also comes under GST. Okay, and also medicines, that comes under GST. If it is, have you seen the medical bill? There you will be having GST, CGST and SGST. It is 2.5 percentage, it is 2.5 percentage. It will be divided into 50 percentage for each. See, it is 5 percentage, just divide it into half. It will be 2.5, 2.5. For central government, 2.5 percentage. For state government, 2.5 percentage will be allotted. Next, processed foods, frozen foods, that will be 12 percentage. Have you seen that Nirmala Sitharaman have announced that for caramelized popcorn it is 18 percentage? I've seen that. Okay. The higher the luxurious goods, the higher the GST. For essential goods, it is 0 or 5 percentage. Okay.
Yes, Maharashtra is for edible oil.
Hmm.
It is imported to Karnataka.
Hmm.
Then there will be IGST on both the CGST. Three tax will be.
See, think that there is a farmer. He has just produced sunflower. Okay, that sunflower he will just sell it in Karnataka, and one of the manufacturing companies is there. Okay, that will produce the oil from the sunflower. Okay, this sunflower oil, if he transport for the other states, then this taxes will be going.
IGST
Yes, IGST.
plus this also.
Yes, this also. Understood. This CGST, IGST, it is for customers. It is you, public. Next comes the what? The goods and services for electronics, insurance also. Whatever the electronics, the laptop, the mobile phone you take, you purchase, for that it is 18 percentage. Next, luxury cars, luxury bike, and tobacco, that comes under 28 percentage. For a gold, it is 3 percentage. For the precious stones, that is unpolished precious stones, it is 0.25 percentage. You should know this one. This is frequently asked. Okay. That is a special rate for gold and for polished. Sorry, for unpolished precious stones. That is diamonds. Okay.
What are essential items? Already all is covered by.
Essential items means the vegetables, the fruits. Okay, and also just check whether the milk comes under 0 or 5 percentage. Okay, let me check here itself. Wait. 5%.
When
Only for, see, for essential goods, GST will be low. Luxury car, luxury bike is not essential. That is why they have just leave it 28% tax. For air conditioner, for refrigerator, it might be 8 or 28%.
when product is packed, that percentage will be 5.
Which one?
Like labeled products.
Yes, for frozen food, think that for fresh fruits, it might be 0 or 5%. If it is frozen, it is 12%. Yes, see here, they have given. For 0, which comes under 0, for food grains, for vegetables, milk, egg, and educational services, that comes under 0%. But for academy, for you people, there is 18% GST, I think. Okay. If you take the course, it is 18% GST. Okay, it depends on the company. Okay, if it comes under the Company Act, if the turnover is more than 20 lakh, that will come under GST. If the turnover is not more than 20 lakh, that will not come under GST. Okay, for students, the GST is exempted. Understood? It is having that it comes under the IT Act. Next, all this LPG, okay, and footwear, edible oils, coal, that all appraisal, that is apparel, clothes, that all come under 5% GST if you purchase the clothes. Next, 12% GST for air travel and also transportation in Indian Railways also, I think. Okay, butter, ghee, fruit juices, packed coconut water, that all comes under 12% GST. 18% GST, printer, computer, laptops, toothpaste, soap, that all comes under 18% GST. 28% it is for AC, fridge, luxury cars, cigarettes, aerated drinks. Okay, that all comes under 28% GST. For gold and silver, it is 3%. Okay. Unpolished diamond, it is 0.25. If it is polished, it is 3%. Is there any doubts? Okay, which are exempted from GST then? Which goods are exempted from GST? Which will not come under GST? Have I told in the class or not? Which goods will not come under GST? Daily essential goods you are using. Petrol, diesel, natural gas, that will not come under GST. There is a separate for that. Why they didn't put under GST?
Alcohol.
Alcohol, that will not come under GST. Okay, let me write down which are exempted goods. These are very basic. Okay, exempted goods under GST. Which are the goods that don't come under GST is petroleum products. Write down, very important. Petroleum products, electricity, natural gas. Okay. Then which one? Apart from this, check white petrol also, I think. High spirit for the aeroplanes, okay, for flights purpose. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Petroleum products, petrol, diesel, okay, natural gas, electricity, and write down high spirit also. That don't come under GST. Why? Because why they didn't add under GST? Huh? Rate might get decreased. Okay. What is the petrol rate now? 101 rupees per liter. And how much tax they will collect from 1 liter? How much tax the government will just levy for petrol per liter? Do you know how much? Is it 10%, 20, 30, 40? How much? 70, around about 70 percentage. Okay. Round about 70 percentage of the tax is levied for petrol per liter. Is it correct? Okay. That too, central government and state government both will levy the taxes for petrol and diesel the same way. Okay. If this petrol comes under the GST, then what is the highest tax slab under GST? 28. If the central government, state government agree to just put this petrol under GST, now the price will get decreased. Okay. Then for whom it will get affected then? For the government. Why? Because it is double. Okay, it is more than double for them. Okay. Triple, I think so. Yes. Roundabout. Nearly. It is 3 times. Okay. 2.5, 2.8 times. Okay. That's why they don't include these under GST. Because in GST, the highest tax slab is 28 percentage. Okay. And from these only they will get the high taxes. Okay. And also petroleum products, natural gas, and for electricity it might be 5% or something, but they don't come under GST. Okay, it will not come under GST. It comes under the state government. It is basically 5%, I think. Okay. Is there any doubt? No doubts. Just write down that. Yesterday, have you seen the Lok Sabha session? What was happening? Three bills was been introduced regarding,
Of
yeah.
the ministers,
Hmm. Yes, if they are accused, if they been in prison for more than 30 days, then they are disqualified. Okay. It is not for president, it is for only PM, CM, ministers. Okay. Still, it didn't get passed. Just it was been introduced by the Home Minister. Okay. Next, what is the advantage of GST? See, why they have brought GST is because before GST, there were different types of taxes they used to levy for the goods. Okay. What is the concept of GST is that goods, that commodity will be valued the same value throughout the nation. It is 5 rupees means throughout the nation will get it at 5 rupees only. Okay. Before GST, it was not like that. Okay. The price of the commodities used to get vary. Okay. Wherever it gets manufactured in that state, the price was less. Wherever they transport those goods, the price was more because they used to include transportation cost also. Okay. This is one tax, one nation. Means throughout the India, it is 0% for the commodities and 5% for the commodities. 12, 18, 28. Okay. One tax, one nation. Okay. And it used to, before GST, all the sale tax was there. Okay. And the value added tax was there. All the different types of tax, customs tax, all the taxes used to get cascaded. Okay. It used to get overlapped and the prices would have become more. In order to overcome that, in order to overcome that cascading effect, they have introduced this GST. Okay. Is there any doubt? No doubts. Okay. One nation, one tax, removed cascading effect. Cascading effects means overlapping of taxes, increased compliance, and boosted GDP growth. Next, what is the disadvantage? See, it was a complex, the software that was built, the GST software that was built, it was complex for the small businessmen to enter, to fill up the GST details and everything. Okay. Next, high compliance cost. Why? Because that software costed huge for all the small businessmen. Okay. Do you know the GST number is there for each shops? Do you know that? Okay. In the billing, there you will be seeing the GSTN number, GSTN and the serial numbers. Okay. And they should also file the GST. Okay. Whatever the GST they pay from the input side, they will just get a rebate for that also, GST. Okay. Next, reduce states autonomy. Okay. Why? Because the GST is a tax for the nation, not for the specific state. Okay. States have lost the sales income. State sale income was there. Okay. That sales income was being just abolished. And because of that, the states have just lost their own autonomy regarding the levying of taxes. Next comes the impact on MSMEs. The micro, small, medium enterprises got affected during the GST in that era. Okay, during that time, most of the manufacturers got affected. Okay, these are the examples for the direct taxes, and it is for indirect taxes. What is customs duty and excise duty? I didn't just tell you regarding customs duty and excise duty. What is that customs and excise duty? Customs duty means while importing and exporting of goods, you should pay customs duty. Excise duty means that is levied for the manufacturers. How the GST is levied for the public, how the GST is levied for the customers, the same way that manufacturers also should pay excise duty for their produced goods. Okay, excise duty, it is the tax that is levied for the manufacturers. It is the tax that is levied for the manufacturers. Educational says it is 2%, health says it is 1%. Surcharge, yesterday I have told you. Next comes the Finance Commission. Okay. The 15th Finance Commission chairman was N.K. Singh. Okay. From 2020 to 2025, whatever the allotted funds will be allocated for the states. Okay. Let me explain in detail regarding the Finance Commission. Okay. Just write down Finance Commission. Okay. For every 5 years, there will be a Finance Commission will be set up. Okay, for every 5 years. Just concentrate here. You can write down afterwards. What is Finance Commission means? This Finance Commission will allocate the funds for the state and also for the central government. Okay. There is central government, there are state governments. How many states are there? 28 states are there. Okay. See, this Finance Commission have given the report that among the state governments, the allocated fund will be 41%. Means out of 100 rupees, 41 rupees will be allocated among the state government. It might be 1 rupees for one state government, it might be 2 rupees, it might be 5 rupees for another state government, it might be 0.5 rupees for another state government. Understood? It is not equal. It is not distributed equal among the states. Okay, it depends on the criteria. That eligibility, I will just tell you which are that. And rest out of 100%, what is the, just divide, just minus this, we'll get 59%. 59% is allocated for the central government. Yes, within that 41% only it is distributed among the state government. That is why I told you some state government can get only 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee or 0.5 rupee. Have you understood now? Okay, this 59% of the fund, whatever they have got through the direct tax, indirect taxes, this 59% is allocated for central government. Central government will utilize this 59% and they will give it through the schemes. One is centrally sponsored scheme, centrally centered scheme. There are different types of schemes. Based on that, they will just allocate the funds. They will allocate it for the different sectors, for defense, for road and transportation, for infrastructure development, within this 59%. for bridges, for dams, for railways. Understood? Is there any doubt? See, that is what they have given here. And also for disaster funding. Disaster funding, who will fund? Central government itself. Okay. And next comes the very recent 16th Finance Commission that is going to takes place from 2026 to 2031. It is headed by Arvind Panagaria. Okay, he was the ex-Niti IAS vice chairman. Central government it is 59, for state government it is 41 among the states. Okay. Finish. Then what is the eligibility criteria? That is at a UPSC level. Whether you want to know how they will allocate the fund or you don't want. Out of 41 percentage, they will allocate in unequal. They will do the unequal distribution. Do you want to know the eligible criteria for getting the taxes? Do you want that? For some state it might be only 1%, for some state it might be 3%, for some state it might be 4%. Do you want to know that criteria? Okay. Okay. Financial devolution. Yes. this or this. Let me check this. Yeah, based on 14th and 15th Finance Commission, there is a table. Okay. Yes, here it is. See, concentrate here. The 14th Finance Commission allocated 42% among the states. Here they have reduced round about 1%. Now it is 41% here. Okay, here it was 42, here it was 41%. Okay, let us see what are the criteria for distributing the funds among the states. Okay, these are the criteria. Based on this, they will just fund for every state. Okay, first is income distance. Income distance means whatever the GSDP each particular states will be having. What is GDP? The total national income. The same way for the state will also having the state income. Okay, whatever the final value of goods and services that is produced within the state for one specific year, that is GSDP, that is gross state domestic product. Whatever the income they have generated within the state, for that the weightage is, okay, let us leave this one. The weightage is 45%. Okay, and population, they have taken 2011 population. The weightage, the more number of people, the more number of population density is there in that particular state, the more allocation of funds. Based on a population also they will allocate the fund. How much is the weightage? 15%. Okay. Next, area. If it is wider area, then more number of allocation for that particular state. Next, forest cover. If the okay, wait. Okay, they have just removed that forest cover. It was there in 14th Finance Commission. Now in 15th Finance Commission, they have removed this forest cover. The more the forest, they will use to pay. Understood? For Madhya Pradesh is having the largest forest cover, I think so. Okay. Next comes the forest and ecology. Okay, see here. They have combined this one, forest and ecology. What is ecology? Environment. Is it only the forest? Flora and fauna. Okay, it includes living beings also. Okay, that one. It covers 10%. Next comes the demographic performance. What is demographic performance? Demographic performance means the population in that particular area. Okay, based on an area. See, in Bangalore, the demography is more, the population is more. Okay, that is what, based on that, they will just allocate the money. Here, the demography means the population for that particular area. For 1 square kilometer, how much is the population? Okay, that is what called as demography. Next comes the tax effort. Okay, this is whatever the taxes they collect from the SGST and also the direct taxes, how much they take. From that, this will be calculated. Understood? These are the criteria for getting the funds from the state government through the Finance Commission. Just write down this. This is very important. This is a UPSC level question, not IB. Okay. Okay, take a break. Okay, we'll continue after 15 minutes. Just complete and take the break. Have I sent this notes? Have I? Just check in a student group. Okay. Next is international organizations. Okay. The next chapter. What are international organizations? What is the role of international organization? Do you know? Which are the international organizations in the world? Okay. IMF, then WHO, correct. Then WTO, World Trade Organization, World Bank. Tomorrow we'll be covering up the totally entire economy. Okay. The last budget topic will be left. Okay. And tomorrow we will complete the budget chapter also. That is public finances in India. We'll complete that also tomorrow. Important schemes. Okay. Along with that, we will cover up. Okay. Along with the budget, we will cover up the schemes too. Okay. Just put the heading International Economic Organizations and India. Internal Economic Organizations and India. Okay. See, after the Second World War, there was a financial crisis. Why? Because due to the damage that was happened between the Allies and Axis countries. Okay. Do you know which are the Allies and Axis countries? Don't know. Okay. Already you have studied in your high school during that time. Okay. See, after the finishing of World War, all the nations thought of coming together and rebuild the nations. Okay, that is what they have brought the international organization called UN, United Nations. Okay, and there are different types of banks have been evolved for development purpose. One is World Bank, the other one is IMF, then there is MIGA, ICSID is there. Okay, there are different types of banks they have established for development purposes. Okay, these banks will provide the loans at the lower rate of interest for longer time, for 25 years, for 30 years, for 40 years for one nation. Okay, that is what the importance of the banks, the international banks. Okay, firstly, in a Britainwood, okay, that is in USA. After the Second World War, the representatives of USA, UK, and the other 42 nations, the totally 44 nations came together. They have just attended this session, that too in a Britainwood. Okay, that is why it is called as Britainwood development. Okay, in that Britainwood, they have established two banks. One is IMF, and the next one is, just give me a minute. Current page. One is IMF, the next one is World Bank. They have set up IMF and World Bank during 1944. Okay. And these are also called as Britainwood twins. Okay, why? Because they have already established it through the Britainwood conference. That is why these are called as Britainwood twins also. Okay. And both the headquarters of IMF and World Bank is in Washington, DC, USA. Understood? Just write the keywords. IMF, World Bank are called as Britainwood twins, established in Washington, DC, USA. Very important. IMF, the World Bank are called as Britainwood twins, and it is established in Washington, DC, USA. See, in an option, in an MCQ, if they have given IMF, which are the Britainwood twins, the one is IMF. If they have given World Bank, just tick this one. Or if they have given only IMF and MEGA, this is wrong. Okay. The IMF and World Bank, either it should be IMF and World Bank, or either it should be IMF or IBRD. Okay. One of the institution of the World Bank was IBRD. Okay. Now it is having 5 in numbers. Initially, it was one of the branch from the World Bank, that is IBRD. Understood? If there is an option of IMF and World Bank, just tick this. Choose this one. Or if they didn't give the World Bank, choose this one in your options. If they didn't give the World Bank, instead of World Bank, if they have given IBRD, choose that one. Understood? Why? Because this is also one first institution of the World Bank. Just don't think it is a grace marks. Okay. Either if they have given IMF, World Bank, choose that one. If there is no World Bank, instead of that, if they have given IBRD, just choose that option. Just don't write all these things. Only the highlighted points you can just write down. Whatever I have highlighted. Okay. IMF, World Bank. Okay. Tomorrow, end of this economy, and Saturday there will be numerical and logical aptitude classes. Monday to Friday, English grammar classes, and again Saturday to Sunday, again the mental ability classes. This is of IB. As it is, the geography classes will be going on in the morning session. For Ganesha, only one. No. See, the tentative date for the exam might be in the month of October. It's not September 16. Okay, some of the websites have given that one. That is not exact one. Okay. Might be in the month of October or November. That's why. IB. Okay. High chances is that in November itself. Understood? Okay.
This Saturday, basic, only basic.
No, numerical aptitude, logical reasoning aptitude, that is not the basic. All the topics related to numerical aptitude, logical aptitude, they will teach. Okay. And along with the P by Q. Is there any doubt? Some of the discussion, very serious discussion has went outside. That's why I asked. If you are having any kind of doubt, you can ask directly from me. Okay. Don't want to use students to be in under confusion. Okay. Okay. Let us see what is IMF. What is the full form of IMF? International Monetary Fund. Okay. This was been. Can you see the words? Okay. This was been set up in which year? It was came into the force 1944. Okay. After the World War. World War was taking place from 1939 to 1944. By the end of World War, Second World War, they have established the IMF and World Bank. Okay. And here, what is the function of IMF? The main function is exchange rate regulation. Whatever the exchange rate is there, you were converting US dollar into rupees and into euros. That exchange rate regulation is made by the IMF. Okay. Then purchasing short-term foreign currency liabilities of the member nations from around the world. If there is any short currencies for any nation, it will purchase on behalf of that and it will help them. Once that country, again it can regrow, and again it can just bring its economy into into the positive, then it can just pay that money back. Okay. During 1990, there was a BOP crisis. Only for 14 days, we had a forex reserve. Okay. This is the IMF. It has given instruction. It has given certain reforms for India to implement. Okay. And also allotting special drawing rights. Very important. Special drawing rights. Special drawing rights. Just write down the special drawing rights. Special drawing rights means the depositing of the hard currencies in the IMF. The more number of deposit the other nations does, they will get the high voting rights in the IMF. There is a voting rights for the IMF. See, recently, whatever this Pakistan wanted the funding after the India-Pakistan war that was been took place for 1 week. Okay, after that IMF sanctioned the loan. Do you know that? Okay, and also whatever, see, that is why I'm telling, India is having around about 2.41% of SDR voting rights. Okay, the high number of, the more amount of deposits we do under the IMF, we will get more voting rights. Currently, India is having 2.41% of voting rights itself. Okay. USA is having more voting rights in SDR. USA, China. Okay. Just write down the full form of, just write down the definition of SDR. SDR is an, okay, write down this one. International Monetary Fund was set up in 1944 and function is exchange rate regulation, purchasing short rate foreign currency liabilities of the member nation. from the around the world and also allocating SDRs. Till then, you just write this much and I will just dictate the definition of this SDR.
And Saturday, from
1:30 to 4:30. There are college going students also. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, 1:30 to 5 o'clock. Is it not?
this school with after that.
You are not available for Saturday. Where are you going? For bringing Ganesha. That much of work. You can attend the live session also or else recorded classes. Okay, for half an hour. Okay. On Sunday, we'll be coming at 10 o'clock. Okay, you just see the recorded classes then. Okay. Okay, let me. Have you completed? SDR is an international reserve asset. SDR is an reserve asset. SDR is an international reserve asset. Full stop. It is not an currency. It is not a currency. It is not a currency, but its value is based on a basket of 5 currencies. Basket of 5 currencies. Just the hyphen. US dollar, comma, euro, comma, Japanese yen, comma, British pound sterling. These are currencies, okay? British pound sterling. And Chinese renminbi. Full stop. Okay. What is SDR? SDR is an international reserve asset. Okay, it is an asset, but this is not a currency. But that value, the SDR value will be in the form of 5 hard currencies. That is US dollars, euro, Japanese yen, pound sterling, or Chinese renminbi. The highest weightage that the currency have is US dollar. Around about 43% of the weightage is there. Okay. Around about 43% of the weightage is there in SDR for US dollar. Yes. This is for US dollar. See, out of these, see, there is a dollar, there is a euro. Okay. dollar ಇದೆ ಹೌದಾ euro ಇದೆ. Out of these currencies highest weightage is for US dollar. Out of 100 percentage 43 percentage of the weightage is there for US dollar. Next 29 percentage of the weightage is for euros. Chinese renminbi 12%, Japanese yen, pound sterling, each of them 7 percentage of weightage. Okay. India holds 2.75 percentage of the SDR quota. Just write down. Presently, India holds 2.75 percentage of SDR quota. Of SDR quota. Full stop. 2.75 of SDR quota. Full stop. Out of 100 percentage, India is having 2.5 percentage of SDR quota, and 2.63 percentage of oats in the IMF. Oats in IMF. VOTS, oats. Okay. During BOP crisis, the IMF will help. What is balance of payment? What is balance of payment? Do the country should have more exports or more imports for developing the nation? More exports. When they do more exports, they will get foreign currencies. That foreign currency will be reserved, and that is called as forex, foreign exchange reserve. If that reserve is more, then it is a developed nation. Understood? The reserves, not the Indian rupees. The foreign currency reserve should be more. If we have more foreign currency reserve, then we are growing in terms of economy. Understood? Is there any doubt? Okay. And also, what is the board of governors of the IMF consists of one governor and one alternate governor from each member country. Okay. And for India, finance ministry is the ex officio governor. Who is the ex officio governor for IMF? Finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Okay. And RBI governor is the alternative governor in the IMF. They will represent our country, India. Okay. Just write down this. The board of governors of IMF consists of one governor and one alternative governor. One governor is finance minister, another one is RBI governor. Very important. Next is World Bank. Okay. Just put the heading World Bank only. World Bank. Under World Bank, there are 5 banks. One is IBRD, that is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This is one bank. Just write down under World Bank, there are 5 banks. One is IBRD. One is IBRD. Okay. Next is IDA. Next is IDA. The third one is IFC. Third is IFC. Fourth is MIGA. 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 Fifth one is ICSID. ICSID. Okay. These are the 5 kinds of banks that comes under World Bank. Okay. Let us see each one. First one is IBRD. Okay. What is the full form of IBRD? International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Can I conduct the test on Saturday regarding economy, or when should I conduct the test? I have already sent the PDF in a group. When you will write this economy test? Next week? After the festival? This week? Are you studying daily or not? Just going for the whole and sleeping, eating, sleeping. When should I conduct the test? You only should tell me. MCQ only. Only MCQ. Already I have conducted one test. Okay, I'll just give you. Saturday? Okay. Timing? 1 o'clock. 50 questions for 1 hour. Just come at, yes, 1 o'clock. Okay. All chapters. Okay. Not from that all chapters. I mean, from inflation, I didn't conduct the test. Is it, Harsha? From inflation, I didn't conduct the test. Inflation chapter, banking chapter, security market, and this international organization. Tax is there. Okay. I will send you the recorded classes. Yes. Yes. Okay. On Saturday, there will be a test. Okay. Regarding inflation and banking, tax, then security market, international organization, and tomorrow the budget. 6 chapters, 50 questions. Okay. This IBRD is one of the oldest of the World Bank institution. Okay, it was set up in 1945. Okay. It is one of the oldest bank. Sorry, it is one of the oldest of the WB institutions. One of the oldest, just underline, just you can write down, one of the oldest World Bank institution. And very important function of the IBRD is that Just see here. For development purpose, they will lend the loan. Okay, for development purpose, they will lend the loan. They will give the loan for the developing nations. But the interest rate is only 1.55 percentage per annum. It is not 15. It is just 1.55 percentage per annum. Okay, and why it is 1.55 percentage per annum? The loans will be in the form of thousands of crores, lakhs of crores. That is why the interest rate is less. Whatever you have deposited in the form of SDR in IMF, okay, you can take the loan in IMF also. The same in the World Bank also. Whatever the deposit you do, I mean the countries does, in emergency time, they can take the loan, the extra loans. Okay, think that 100 crores have been deposited by India in the World Bank. Okay, 200 crores can get sanctioned, but it will be 1.55 percentage per annum. And also along with that, this kind of loan will be given for specific purpose, like for development of agriculture, irrigation, urban development, healthcare, family welfare, dairy development. Understood? For these sectors, it will sanction the loan for each countries. Okay. Think that we wanted agriculture loan. The India needs agriculture loan. This IBRD will sanction that loan for dairy products, sorry, for dairy development, for irrigation purpose, for urban development. For these kind, if the government of India needs a loan, it can take the loan from IBRD for this specific purpose. Okay. Is there any doubt? Okay. See, we are having this much of shares in IBRD. Okay. India is having 56,739 shares. That is accounting to this much of dollars. This much of shares we have purchased in IBRD. Understood? And that is the worth of our shares. And what is the rank of India? India is the 7th largest shareholder. India is the 7th largest shareholder, but we are positioning 11th position. Largest shareholder, 7th shareholder is the India, but we are standing 11th position. Okay. And voting, what is the voting power we are having? Round about 2.91 percentage of voting rights we are having. 2.91 percentage of voting rights we are having. The very important is 1.55 percentage per annum. That interest rate is important here. And for which sector they will issue the loans, and also what is India's rank? Okay, in terms of rank, that is 11th position. In terms of largest shareholder, we are 7th. Okay, and voting rights is 2.91 percentage of voting rights we are having. Just write down only the keywords. See, this is not important, but for your understanding, I have mentioned that. They will not ask you how many shares the India have brought from IBRD. Okay, for your understanding, for understanding this one, you should need to know this one. How we will get the voting rights? By investing our money in IBRD through the form of shares. Then we will get the voting rights.
So,
Just Okay. Initially it was 2.77. Presently we are having 2.91% of voting rights. Is there any doubts in this? If we complete tomorrow's public finance chapter, it is equivalent to 70% of UPSC syllabus have been covered. Okay. The next comes, which is the next one which you have written after IB-ACIO? IDA. Okay. Completed? IDA. That is International Development Agency. International Development Agency. International Development Agency. This was set up in 1960. Okay. This is also known as soft window of the World Bank. Soft window. Why? Because it is interest free. The loans is interest free. And they will give the loans for 35 to 40 years. That is why it is called as soft window for World Bank. Understood? How we will call the person is very soft? By seeing his behavior. The same way, the soft window for World Bank is IDA. Why? Because I will just explain you in detail. Firstly, just concentrate here. This International Development Agency is also called as soft window of World Bank, and it was set up in 1960. What is the aim of this IDA is that it will give the long-term loans. Long-term loans. This long-term loans is for the period of 35 to 40 years. That much of long-term loan it will provide. But that too at interest-free, very important word. Interest-free, no interest is levied. Except for a small charge to cover administrative cost. For administrative cost, whatever the documents, for signing up the documents, for issuing the loan, only that administrative cost will be charged. That's it. If you go for the bank, they will just issue the loan along with the interest rate. But also they will take additional charges from you. Have you seen the document verification? For document verification, they will just take 250 rupees, 2000 rupees. Okay, that is kind of administrative cost. They will just charge. Okay. And repayment will begin after 10-year grace period. Okay, repayment begins after a 10-year grace period. Just write down whatever I have just highlighted. And the very important is that since from 2015, the India stopped to take this kind of free loans. Okay. Till 2015, India did not avail any financial support from IDA. It is graduated from an agency in the financial year 2014. Till date, IB-RD plus IDA both have been supported for India. They have granted this much of loan till date. I mean till 2015. Okay, means $91.81 billion we have took as a loan from IDA plus IBRD. Okay, after 2015 onwards, we didn't take any kinds of loans. Why India shifted away from taking the loan from IDA? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ? Why it is not taking the loan from 2015? There might be a reason why it is not taking the loan. Yeah, no, here the India's per capita income is increasing. Okay, what is per capita? Per person's income is increasing, and we are not the poorest countries in the world as for now. We are developing nation. If we have been included in the poorest country, then the IDA would have sanctioned the loan for us. Since our economy is growing and our per capita is also growing, then the IDA can't sanction the loans at a free cost, free interest rate. Okay. That is why they have written officially graduate. We have officially graduated from IDA. Okay, that's why they will not sanction any kind of loan from IDA for us. And for Africa, the IDA will sanction the loans. Okay, because Africa is a poor country, poor continent, and also there are a lot of countries in Africa which are poor. Okay, for them, IDA is necessary. Is there any doubt? Completed? Next is IFC, International Finance Corporation. Okay, it was been set up in 1956. International Finance Corporation was set up in 1956. Okay, which is also known as private arm of the World Bank. Private arm. Why? Because they will lend the loan for the private sector also. Not for the government, for private people like Ambani, Adani. Okay, if these rich business people wanted a loan, they will approach IFC. It lends some money to private sector companies of its member nation.